As our nation's oldest business sector organization, the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce remains committed to all businesses as their voice. The pinnacle of our Champions of Business Awards is the Business Hall of Fame. Here is where it all started. Champions of Business was created primarily to celebrate the outstanding and exemplary contributions of Trinidad and Tobago's business leaders. It is also intended to inspire emerging entrepreneurs to strive for excellence and quality standards in business. The story started in 2005 with the induction of founding member Joseph Leon Agostini posthumously into the very first Business Hall of Fame. This was a simple ceremony that took place in the company's boardroom, but soon outgrew its modest beginnings. By 2014, a strategic decision was made to expand the categories to also capture SMEs and export-oriented companies. And so, Champions of Business was born.
Hi, I'm Mark Luquen, President of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, NGC, is pleased to join the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce in honoring our local champions of business for yet another year. The philosophically minded among us are constantly seeking to understand our purpose in life. Why do we exist? What are we meant to do with the skills and talents we were given? When we consider the examples of men and women who have lived fulfilling and purpose-driven lives, they have been engaged in delivering some sort of service to society. As with individuals, many companies are also driven by the quest for purpose, and like individuals, most of them also have an ethos of service. Fundamentally, all companies are formed with an intention to serve, to deliver either a good or service that caters to a need or demand in society. Unfortunately, some businesses lose sight of that purpose along the way in pursuit of profit. However, as Henry Ford once said, a business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. This enduring wisdom from a legendary businessman reminds us that the most successful companies are those that don't just chase a dollar, but add value to society through their work and products. These are the companies that conduct their business with passion and purpose. They exist to enrich others as much as themselves. Since our inception in 1975, we at NGC have held service to society as a precedence and founding purpose. We exist to create value for our nation from our business. Because of this, we appreciate the challenges and journeys of other like-minded organizations determined to generate profits in a way that simultaneously and sustainably creates value for others. For this reason, we are pleased to join the Chamber in honoring those leaders and businesses who are successfully marrying profit and purpose, working intentionally and consciously to uplift society.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
The wind continues to ramp up.
a third consecutive year, NGC is sponsoring two special Champions of Business Awards. The first honors the Business Hall of Fame inductees, and the second, the Green Agenda Award, celebrates companies making strides in the area of environmental sustainability. The Business Hall of Fame Award acknowledges that behind every profitable and reputable company is a founder, leader, or principal who is making tough but measured decisions, who has the acumen to convert challenges into opportunities, who is not afraid to take calculated risk, and who appreciates the link between good corporate citizenship and business success.
Business Hall of Fame. The criteria for Business Hall of Fame inductees include 1. Persons to be a Trinidad and Tobago national. 2. Made significant impact as a business leader over the duration of their careers as exemplary role models for future and emerging business leaders. 3. Have worked to improve the community, environment, and engaged in other CSR initiatives. 4. Demonstrated their commitment to building and improving the nation. 5. Have gained industry recognition for achievements as an industry pioneer.
Since its inception in 2005, the Champions of Business Hall of Fame has been decorated with the names of persons who have achieved excellence in service of their customers, communities, and the country. Through the Business Hall of Fame Award, we will be paying tribute to two special individuals whose achievements warrant public recognition. These are founder and chairman of TL Holdings Limited, TL Investments Limited, and Hydrotech Limited, Mr. Trevor Lynch, and posthumously, eminent entrepreneur and cinema magnate, Haji Gokool-Meah.
My name is Trevor Lynch. I'm the founder and the owner of TL Holdings, TL Investments, and Hydrotech Limited. Originally from Point Fortin, went to school at the Guapo Government School, elementary, and then I did my secondary at Faizabad Intermediate. I, for some reason, would have always had a entrepreneurial kind of way of thinking. And in that environment, there was always things that keep you positively active. So schoolwork was taken seriously, recreation was taken seriously, and your other spare time, your parents will keep you active. You know, environment had motor cars in the early days, so we would learn how to tune up a car. We learned to drive at the age of 8, you know, that kind of thing. So it was really in a positive environment. So a lot of that helped shape how you're thinking and how you spend your time. My father was in England, and he sent my sister a typewriter. And the only thing I wanted to learn from the typewriter was how to make a raffle sheet. So I learned to type a raffle sheet, and then I would work my raffle in school and work it in the neighborhood. So I created a little income out of my raffle sheet. Right? A little later down, I started to do photography. And once I learned enough, I went to the newspaper at the time. The daily newspaper at the time would have been the Daily Mirror. We had the Daily Mirror and the Guardian. So I went to the Mirror and employed me as a part-time reporter and photographer. From Form 4, I started to publish a newsletter for the school, and I would sell my newspaper among the students and the Faizabad community. So there was always that entrepreneurial part of me. Being from Point Fortin, you would have been from the belly of the oil companies. Amoco had just come to Trinidad on the East Coast, and they were now building out the infrastructure for the drilling program. So there's a lot of work in Mayaro, and there's a lot of work in Guayagari, and a lot of friends from Point who have been working up here. So I left and I came up here, and that just changed my game and put me into the oil field. But because of my entrepreneurial and leadership styling, I decided to learn this work properly and make an effort and see if I could get the major company itself to buy some of these services from me. I made an application to Amoco to be considered as a supplier, and I was successful in getting them to approve that. And then I started to get some contracts from them. That's where that hydrotech journey really started.
Entrepreneurship requires quite a bit of characteristics. A successful businessman has to be a risk taker, a calculated risk taker as well. But you have to be innovative, you have to be, my mother would always say, you have to see further than your elbow, right? And clearly Trevor would have sharpened those tools over the years, always been the person who solves problems. Our energy sector here in Trinidad and Tobago has gotten severe blows based on what's happening worldwide. There's been a lot of closures of services companies throughout Trinidad and Tobago, but hydrotech is still here. So I think those things set Trevor apart. Those are the type of characteristics that puts Trevor in a class of its own, and the combination of it, I think, is what makes Trevor a success.
I think, one, you must be consistent in whatever you want to do. Responsibility is how do you keep your space. So you've got to be really competitive, and you've got to be consistent. And any help that you engage in to assist you in getting there, value that help, because those are human beings as well too. So let's work for them as well too. And I think that's a simple formula. It's about people, Because I take life, very, very humble and very simple. But I think my greatest achievement, as I said, is being able to create opportunities that people in the communities, people in the neighborhood, even people from outside of that it created opportunities so that they, for themselves, could have a way forward in life.
His is the story made for a movie, an industrialist and philanthropist born in Kashmir and named Mudhu. His father died shortly before his birth, and his mother remarried, moving to Calcutta in India. In 1852, they signed up as indentured laborers, and on January 25, 1853, they arrived in Trinidad aboard the Benares ship and were sent to the Concord estate in Pointe-a-Pierre. Sadly, after 3 months, the small child lost his mother to malaria. His stepfather ignored him, and Mudhu was taken in by a Hindu couple whom he met with his mother aboard the Benares, and they gave him the name Gokool. At the age of 15, Gokool eventually secured his own indentureship contract with the Concord estate, and at the end of it went out on his own. He purchased a donkey cart and earned his way, 5 shillings a day, hauling sugar cane to the factory at Usine St. Madeleine, then the second largest sugar refinery in the world. His entrepreneurial career progressed, and he sold his cart to establish a shop in Danglade village on the road to San Fernando, now part of the Petrotrin oil refinery at Pointe-a-Pierre. The 24-hour shop also gave him a lot of business insights. During this time, he married Rojan Budhu, a Muslim, in 1878, and they had 17 children, 11 of whom survived. With a drop in customer sales due to the layoffs and decline in cane sugar with the rise in European beet sugar, this patriarch decided to go from shopkeeping to cocoa cultivation, establishing one of the early cocoa plantations in the Diego Martin Valley. In 1892, he bought Diamond and Green Hill estates in Diego Martin. Gokool's business strategy to convert the exhausted sugar estates into cocoa plantations was nothing short of genius. He offered a number of his former customers lots of 4 to 5 acres for a period of 5 years rent-free so they could cultivate crops and sell on the market in Port of Spain. In return, they were to plant cocoa trees, 1 tree at every 12 square feet on the land they borrowed. And after the 5 years were up, Gokool would pay them each for bearing a cocoa tree. Gokool's calm in his business ventures, despite the racial prejudice of the colonial days, was compared to the icy calm of the Kashmir Mountains, according to Duvertai, and the proverbial saying in Trinidad, "As cool as Gokool," is derived from his reputation. In one case of prejudice, where he indicated an interest to purchase property, it is reported that he asked the agent of the court in Hindustani, "Have you ever seen $10,000? And Haji then laid out his money in front of the man and then and there counted out the sum in full. He invested heavily into property in Port of Spain and was a successful real estate agent. He was charitable by nature, and history tells us that he distributed bread to the children in the street every morning from his porch. In 1922, he made the pilgrimage and came back Haji. He continued his charitable work, and in 1927, he built the masjid in St. James, which is named after him. When the decline in cocoa came, he got into the cinema business and established the Metro Cinema in collaboration with MGM Pictures. On 19th of March 1933, the building at the corner of St. Vincent and Park Streets opened its doors and was the talk of the cinema circuit. The ornate classical building could seat over 1,000 patrons in balcony and pit and cost over $80,000 to construct. It was also the first building in Trinidad to be air-conditioned, and it was the largest cinema in the Caribbean. In 1938, Gokool breached his contract with MGM by showing films from rival outfits like RKO and Paramount Pictures. MGM withdrew, and Gokool changed the name of his cinema then to Globe. He also opened other Globe cinemas in Princestown and Chaguanas. Up to a very great age, Gokool was in good health and good spirits. When he eventually died, he left a large amount of his fortune in a trust to be used for charity. The fund was formalized on the 19th of May 1967 by his son, Mr. Nur Muhammad Gokool. The Haji Gokool-Meah Memorial Trust was established as a charitable purpose trust, with the objectives of the trust being 1. Provide relief to poor and needy persons, 2. Provide for the benefit of deserving and necessitous causes, and 3. Provide support for organizations of a charitable nature in Trinidad and Tobago. From an immigrant to an orphan, he was an entrepreneur turned business magnate. Self-made, who lived his dream guided by his faith and determination to do it his way, but with compassion. He struggled, survived, and truly left a legacy. A champion of business, a titan and trailblazer, Haji Gokool-Meah.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Cumberbatch, Chairman of the Employment Relations Committee at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. The ELR Committee, formed in October 2015, has a mandate to promote national productivity through advocacy for human and social development, effective human resource management, and good industrial relations. Our objectives are to promote good industrial relations and effective human resource management practices, to promote a safe working environment within its member organizations, to provide immediate, up-to-date, and relevant advisory and educational services in collaboration with expert stakeholders and institutions. The ELR Committee has collaborated with various stakeholders over the years to bring relevant, topical, insightful, and informative workshops and conferences to employees and employers. Some of our state partners have been the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, and the Ministry of Public Administration, the Equal Opportunity Commission, and the Industrial Court of Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, we have been fortunate to collaborate with several private entities for workshops, training, and conferences, namely Exim Bank TT, Digicel, Guardian Media Limited, Guardian Holdings Limited, M. Hamel-Smith & Co. Regency, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Recruitment and Resources Limited. The ELR Committee is also engaged in Tobago and its businesses and organizations which seek to access training, workshops, or conferences. We remain committed to advancing opportunities in developing employers' human resources and industrial relations management practices. A wide range of topics have been addressed through our workshops and conferences, such as, but not limited to, artificial intelligence and the HR implications to the workplace, employer insights, effective leadership for remote teams, disciplinary practices and procedures, and immigrant labor, recruiting the right way. The world of work is now rapidly evolving, with the recent pandemic exposing several shortcomings in local and indeed international human resource operating models that have been utilized over the last few decades. We need to be ready to respond to the upcoming and significant changes in business and the workplace, including the applications of hybrid working models, the transition to a millennial workforce, and the integration of artificial intelligence, just to name a few. We are the voice of business on employment and labor relations. We are here to provide guidance and assistance in transforming and transitioning businesses and people to build their capabilities, increase their capacity, intensify their engagement, and achieve overall success.
Our committees are vibrant and active. As the committee's officer at the T&T Chamber, I invite you to become a member and actively participate in one of our standing committees. Your invaluable expertise, forward-thinking ideas, and passion will invigorate our mission of fostering a business world that's ethical, innovative, and more sustainable. Joining the T&T Chamber and becoming a member means that you play an integral part in charting the course towards a future of business excellence.
It comes naturally to us. Unstoppable energy. We share it. We use it to live better. Longer, smarter. We are manifesting a green and sustainable future. Sustainability is not just our passion, but a pledge. As we realize the potential of our people, we make a promise that we are thinking of tomorrow. NGC, pursuing sustainability at the forefront of energy.
We continue now with Champions of Business True Stories. Let's hear more about the Green Agenda Award, sponsored by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited.
The second award we are sponsoring is particularly special to us. Climate change is undeniably one of mankind's most pressing challenges, and addressing its threats and impacts requires the active participation of states, civil society, and corporations alike. We at NGC have implemented our own Green Agenda strategy for reducing our carbon impact, which includes internal process improvements, industry-wide mechanisms to cut emissions across our value chain, and public education initiatives. Because of our own journey, we appreciate the efforts and resources that must be committed for a company to reduce its carbon footprint. We therefore believe that businesses trying and making a difference should be recognized. This was the thinking behind our lobby for inclusion of a Green Agenda Award in the TTCIC's category listing. We were thrilled to see it inaugurated in 2021, and through this award, we look forward to continuing to highlight the work and successes of other local companies that have joined the climate fight. The winner of the 2023 award will be announced in November.
Green Agenda. The criteria for business or organizations competing for the Green Agenda Award are: 1. Have a written policy on sustainability. 2. Demonstrate how its sustainability measures are implemented. 3. Show market potential for the realization of similar projects in other companies. 4. Show implementation of international sustainability and environmental standards, global reporting initiative, and sustainability accounting standards. 5. Show community involvement, corporate citizenship, and support for initiatives advancing green agenda.
On behalf of NGC, I wish to congratulate all the individuals and businesses who have been nominated for these Champions of Business Awards. Whatever the outcome, your nomination alone signals that we see you. You are making a difference. Your contribution is deserving of reward and recognition, and you are fulfilling an important purpose in our society. We look forward to celebrating you and your achievements.
The big night is almost here. Register to attend the biggest business networking event of the year, the T&T Chamber's Champions of Business Gala Awards finale and cocktail reception. Join us for a night with champions on Thursday, November 2nd from 6:30 p.m. at Napa. Titans and trailblazers will be recognized in the following categories: small and medium enterprises, entrepreneurship, innovation, breakthrough exporter, internationally known T&T-owned Green Agenda, and Business Hall of Fame. Email us today at events@chamber.org.tt or call us at 637-6966 to book your seats. Champions of Business is supported by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, B-Mobile Business, Exim Bank Trinidad and Tobago Limited, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Republic Bank, Term Finance, Unicoma Trinidad Limited, Media Insight Limited, Guardian Media Limited, and Music Radio 97.1 FM.